Hey everybody, welcome to The Daily. I'm Greg Lawless alongside Kristel Valencia. Today is Wednesday, May 12th. It is the day after the 30-man rosters were named by all the teams for the World Cup. Some of them went with 23 and then said, okay, these are our 7 that are going to be the holdovers in case there's an injury. But everyone also came out with 30 names. What were the big surprises for you, Kristel?
For me, Brazil. Dunga, a Brazil coach, announced his 33-man roster and didn't call up Adriano. For me, it was really surprising because Adriano was doing well in Copa Libertadores with Flamengo. They got to the quarterfinals, and he's doing well in Copa Libertadores. And also, he was part of the final part of the qualifiers in South America.
I mean, it's quite a luxury to be Brazil, to leave a guy like Adriano at home. They also left Ronaldinho at home. I mean, some other, Alexandre Pato was left at home. It's incredible.
But with Ronaldinho, we knew that he wasn't, thinking on calling up. But in terms of Adriano, he was really questioned about from Brazilian media about not calling up Adriano. And he said in the press conference, "You guys think I'm not intelligent enough to make the decision just I made? I gave a lot of opportunities to Adriano, and Graffiti, which is the striker for Wolfsburg, made it." So he balanced that a lot.
Also some names that were left out in Argentina as well.
In Argentina, Esteban Cambiaso didn't make it, and Javier Zanetti. I was really surprised about Javier Zanetti.
Although we have known that Zanetti and Maradona didn't necessarily get along, right?
Yes, I know, but what Zanetti did represent in the past for Argentina, it was a big name. And these are this type of players that you're always willing to see in the World Cup, And Zanetti has done really beautifully with Inter Milan. He's going to play the UEFA Champions League Final, so I was willing to see Zanetti in the World Cup.
He's an incredible player that didn't get there. Now let's go some positive as well, and we'll go over to Europe in that one, and you look at England and what they did. Fabio Capello actually convincing Jamie Carragher, the Liverpool defender, to come out of international retirement. You have to imagine, if he convinces him to come out of retirement to join the 30-man roster, he has to be taking him to South Africa.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens with them. We'll be discussing that, obviously, all week long as more names come up.
A lot of controversy. Van Nistelrooy didn't make it to the...
it's incredible, some of these players that still aren't making it through. Well, one of the names that also didn't make the England squad was Bobby Zamora. Some people thought the Fulham striker was going to make it, and he has a chance today to prove Fabio Capello wrong when Fulham take on Atletico Madrid in the Europa League Final. They're in Hamburg. Obviously, for us, it's all about Clint Dempsey. I mean, incredible. How do you see this game going?
Well, it will be a very interesting game. Atletico Madrid has done very well in the competition as well as Fulham. For me, obviously, my favorite is Fulham because I want to see Clint Dempsey to win the Europa League.
He would be the first American to play in a European final. Jovan Kirovski has a Champions League medal from winning it with Borussia Dortmund back in the 90s, but Dempsey would be the first one. MLS Soccer will actually be at the game in Hamburg. Greg Seltzer, our reporter over in Amsterdam, is making the trip over to Hamburg for the game tonight. So be sure to check out all of that with all the action. But here on these shores, there's also some action going on. New York and New England getting ready for the U.S. Open Cup. This is the I-95 rival, as I like to say. These two teams have fought for many, many years over the control of the East Coast in a way. What do you think goes on today?
It will be interesting to see how New England is going to do it because they are facing a lot of injuries, last-minute injuries in the MLS competition, and it will be interesting to see how Steve Nichols is going to do with the lineup.
Well, Nichols had to struggle and to balance lineups a lot all season long when you think about all the red cards they've gotten, so he's had to deal with that. Now, of course, all the injuries. Still no Taylor Twellman, no Showery Joseph. This is going to be a tough one for them. But the rookie Zach Boggs, he had 2 goals last weekend against Columbus. He looked very, very good. And if you didn't know, there's some stuff going up on MLSsoccer.com later that the guy is an incredible jump roper of all things. He is a master jump roper. He says he picked it up from his sister, who is some sort of national champion in that.
On the other hand, you have a team like New York Red Bulls. They suffered the second loss in MLS competition this past weekend, and it will be interesting to see how they do as well.
Yeah, I mean, a 4-0 loss.
From a loss,
A 4-0 loss to San Jose. They need to rebound. And so this is a good chance maybe for them to rebound. Also maybe to get some rest for the team. Maybe play some of the guys who haven't gotten any time. Another game north of the border. We go up to Canada, and Montreal and Toronto will renew their rivalry. This is the first time they're going to be meeting since the announcement that Montreal will be joining MLS in 2012. They met a couple of weeks ago in the Nutrilite Canadian Championship. Toronto ended up winning 2-0, but that was at BMO Field. Now they're at Stade Saputo. This is going to be a little different for them.
definitely it's going to be different, but it will be a great opportunity for Toronto because they are in a great moment right now. They won last week, and the team is doing really well in the MLS competition. So for me, Toronto is going to win.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, the Reds have a good chance. Although for Montreal, you have to imagine that they're going to be thinking, this is our chance to put a stamp on everything and say, yes, we deserve to be in MLS, not only as a franchise, but as a team as well. And you know over the next 2 years. Yeah, and this is going to be the start of a great rivalry, I think, in Eastern Canada. Should be very good. Yeah. Be sure to check out MLSsoccer.com a little later on. We're going to have a sit-down with Commissioner Don Garber, and that'll be your questions that you guys have been sending us for the last week. We thank you for that. You can always email any questions to thedaily@MLSsoccer.com. I'm Greg Lawless, Kristel Valencia. We'll check you later on.